In the heat of firefighting, when things are going just wrong and clients are starting to walk, it's easy to miss the gifts right in front of you. Every misstep, every complaint, every bit of feedback is a big, beautiful piñata. And that's exactly the right metaphor because you now know how to get the candy out. Welcome to Bonus Week, Week 5, Day 29 of starting your side hustle. We finished our month-long journey, and this week is all about all the lessons I wish I'd had time for. Today's focus is a little all over the place. I want to touch on retention, recovery, loyalty. It's meant to be a kind of masterclass on turning feedback, churn, breakdowns into piñata candy, Sour Patch Kids, whatever candy you like, into growth. I was originally going to do today's topic last week during Scale Week because of two reasons. One, retention is a scaling lever. If your bucket has a hole in it, it's worth your time to fix it because depending on the size of the hole, focusing on retention might get you more growth than everything you learned during Sales Week. Plus, if you delegated sales, super skill number 3, it'll drive your salespeople bonkers to lose the clients they worked so hard to land. Reason number 2, churn, another way of describing retention, is a different kind of strategic signal, Day 25. It's a source of data, Day 26, for the kind of product and process improvements, Day 24, that let you scale. So yeah, I suck. Teaching is probably the hardest thing I'll ever do. A real life example today is Des Traynor, co-founder of Intercom. Early on, he noticed that when customers left Intercom, it wasn't always because the product failed. They often just outgrew the plan or needed something different. So instead of treating those goodbyes as dead ends, Intercom built automated win-back campaigns. They did exit surveys. They did special upgrade offers. They built thoughtful offboarding workflows. They learned from every goodbye, improved their product, and even converted departing users into brand advocates. His story, Intercom's story, is about how churn, how every goodbye, is a goldmine for learning, upgrades, referrals, list goes on. So the two questions we're going to ask today. 1, what's the most valuable piece of feedback hiding in your latest firefight? And 2, how can you turn every complaint, every exit, every mistake into a gift that makes your company better? Both questions matter because they force you to slow down and look for the candy hidden in the chaos, the little piñata candy. That first question is training your brain to see past the noise and frustration, to spot the insight that can actually move your business forward. It's a tough skill to master, but the best ideas are buried in the heat of the moment. Second question matters because it helps you build a habit of transformation. Both questions help you develop a mindset that's pretty rare in business, one that sees feedback, especially the tough kind, as something to celebrate, as something to fuel growth. If, you can survive it. Okay, take a moment and try to answer the Day 29 questions for your hustle without AI and before you listen to the next section, the Ivy League MBA. I personally think it's useful to try to answer questions without AI first, but if you'd rather do that, the AI teaching assistant prop will drop with today's case study in a couple hours. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check out Lunch Break Millionaire Day 0 or go over to superserious.com where I'm posting daily transcripts. The AI prompts are there too. That's it. Hustle smarter. Most companies treat outages and customer departures as a kind of piñata party. They definitely blindfold someone. They definitely hand them a stick. They definitely spin them around to make them dizzy. Hey, just make sure that when the spinning stops, that well-armed lunatic is facing all the kids, not the piñata. Day 29, part 2 of Lunch Break Millionaire, where we turn whatever you're eating for lunch into an Ivy League MBA degree. For today's lunch, I'm going rogue, just having dessert because all the best desserts require you to beat something. Eggs, cream, batter, dough, frosting. Dessert is a great example of the joy that can come from a good beating, making it metaphorically perfect for a conversation about how to enjoy a good beating. Today's MBA skill is a playbook for when you and or your hustle are the piñata. So let's talk about the playbook you'll need. First, start by looking at which clients are leaving or threatening to leave, when and why. Dig into the stories behind each exit or potential exit. Segment them by customer type, by product experience. When the customer leaves feedback, especially a complaint, pause and treat it as a gift. Thank them, even though it'll sting. Next, create graduation moments, which is jargon for replacing generic goodbyes with a much more personal offboarding playbook. One that asks for honest feedback. One that offers a parting gift. One that keeps the door open. Share what you learned with your team. Communication is super important at these times. Use those insights to improve your product, your service, your support. Build a recovery playbook that anticipates the most common breakdowns. Script your ideal response to each one, like what to say, what to offer, how to follow up. And make sure everyone on the team knows they're empowered to fix the problems on the spot. Every complaint is a gift. Use it to improve your product, your process, your people. When you go above and beyond to make things right, ask for a testimonial or referral. Let those stories become part of your brand legend. And don't forget your alumni. Reach out to former customers with a thank you, a check-in, or a special offer. Sometimes the ones who left become your biggest fans. Here's how I put everything I just said into action, whether it's today, 6 months from now, 6 years from now. Review your last 10 customer exits. What pattern do you see? Figure out your top 3 most common breakdowns. Write out your ideal recovery response for each one. Set up a recurring system or process to capture, analyze, and act on those customer complaints. And don't wait for people to grab a stick. For instance, this week, reach out to a former customer or one former prospect that didn't say yes. Just reach out without a pitch. Just gratitude and curiosity. That's how you hustle smarter. What if I told you that one of America's most beloved brands built its reputation on how it helps people through their hardest goodbyes? This is day 29, part 3 of Lunch Break Millionaire. This is a segment where we build in public. It's a hashtag where I answer the daily questions every hustle should using the MBA skills we just learned and showing my work, sharing how I'm building my hustle from scratch. No filters, just the real journey. You don't need to actually like or subscribe. I'm not doing this for the clicks. But if you're leveling up from other creators you follow or know, introduce us. I want to learn from them and help them level up too. We all deserve better than just making rich people richer. Most people don't think about strategies for growing thicker skinned. We all just figure that it happens naturally as life beats you down over and over and over again. Starting a side hustle just accelerates those beatdowns. That's what today's conversation about churn was really about. Thinking strategically about your reaction to a beatdown, turning it into a positive. Most young-ish business owners treat churn like some dirty little secret, something to hide, something to fix. They obsess over every lost introduction, every no thanks, every silent unsubscribe. They haven't yet grown their thick skin because experience changes your instincts from patch every hole every day, which you should, to design a better hustle. So let's talk graduation moments from editorial and super serious. We're manually tracking, and by we, I mean me, when our customers hit certain milestones, like publishing their 50th curated post or when their audience engagement doubles. I'm just trying to get that to trigger a graduation moment. If we do it right, if I do it right, our creators feel seen, celebrated, which is important. And yeah, I need to automate all of this, but right now, a personal message from me is kind of cool, very human. Will everyone upgrade? Hell no. Some will even leave. When I was a younger man, I'd write them off. But now that I have, this stuff, gray hair, I reach out. I thank them. I ask them what didn't fit. I offer a refer a friend bonus or something of value for free. Why? Because they bought into my dream. It's that simple. In my experience, my best referrals come from people who didn't buy anything, people who left for a better fit. They respected what I was doing or trying to do and how I was trying to do it. And they sent me prospects. They still do, my referrers. They have a real perspective that I try to fake, getting better at it, but they have it for real. And all that taught me, and it should teach you, churn isn't failure. It's a fork in the road. One path leads to upgrades. The other path leads to referrals. And that learning forces me in every hustle to design graduation moments and treat every exit like it's an opportunity. I'll close today with my favorite example of getting churn right. Chewy. They're an online pet supply company, but they've already reached legendary status. When a customer cancels a subscription because their pet has sadly passed away, Chewy sends flowers, sometimes a handwritten note, sometimes a portrait of the pet. No sales pitch, no win-back offer, just a moment of deliberate empathy. The result? Most dog people will, after grieving, inevitably get another dog. And when they do, they will never, ever buy dog food from any company other than Chewy. And those few dog moms and dog dads who choose to live without a dog, talking about the people who will never buy from Chewy again, well, they become Chewy's loudest advocates. They tell everyone they know. That is churn turned into a referral engine and a brand story that money can't buy.